Tennessee Homestead. How in the heck are you? So, if you had a pool started out there yet, whether I'm alive or dead, if you played alive, you're good. you won. I know it's been a bit. Been working on some things up north here, freezing my tush off, and trying to get them wrapped up so start heading back home would be nice. And that's the trip I'm planning to make here directly. Starting to look for some places back in Tennessee and Arkansas and southern area. You know, something with trees. Anyway, so been working on some projects, getting a place fixed up a little bit. My old 1-ton truck is sitting out in the back. It's got some sickly issues that I want to eventually get around to. But I needed a pickup truck for what I was doing, so I went out and bought an old Dodge, got a good deal on it, and now I'm piecing it together. I did change out the headlights and all that on it, because man, I don't know how the guy wrote the thing. I don't. Those headlights were so scarred up and literally yellow. I mean, they look like two big turn indicators on the front of that truck. Anyway, 2002 Dodge. Yeah, throw some pictures up here of it. It's not all that pretty, but yeah, gives me something to tinker with a little bit on the side. I like working on cars. That's kind of a hobby, not really work. Anyway, how y'all doing? Yeah, put some comments down and let me know how you guys are doing and get myself caught back. Like I said, I will be probably in the next month or so. I hope to be headed back into Tennessee. I'm working with like 3 different realtors. Gonna kind of do a fixer-upper. Doesn't have a bunch of major structural stuff that needs to be done. I'd run across one little place that I'll tell you what. Looking at the outside pictures, house looked fairly cute. Had a few acres with it, and some outbuildings and so forth. Looked good. They were only asking, I think, like $60,000 for it. And then they showed the pictures of the inside of the house, which was nothing. I mean, it was just the framing, that's it. All the walls taken out, all the flooring taken out, all the electrical taken out. It was like somebody's project. You know what? Nah. What I'm looking for is a fixer-upper, but something that I can, because I know I'm going to be on this one for a bit longer. But if I can pick something up down south where I can spend my winters in warmth, there you go. Yeah. Man, I've been up here, working around up here for a couple of years now, and it's about worn me out. I've got to be honest with you. But, yeah, that's what I've been up to. I'll stick you on some pictures of the old truck or of the new truck and some of the pictures of what I'm working on. I don't have many on this house. I got a porch that was put on the back that I can show you what that turned out like. Got one post. I got one of my posts crooked. I gotta get that thing straightened out. Yeah, I thought it just slipped out of place, I guess, when I was nailing it all up. And I was playing ball with my dog in the backyard. Yes, I got a dog. Try to get a snapshot stuck up on this thing. I don't know what he is. He's a mutt. Yeah, he's a typical American dog. A mutt. What are you doing, Pete? You too close to the lights, you know that, right? Oh, what are you gonna do? Bark at me? Oh yeah, I know. It's just awful, huh? Yep. You're probably waiting for me to take you downstairs and let you out the door, huh? Look at that nose. Yeah? Woo woo man, what are you doing? Yeah? Woo woo woo. Why don't you sit down? That's the boy. That's a good boy. Yeah. He does like hand signals. We're starting to learn them, aren't we? I know. I know. I was up here working. Looks to be a lot of maybe husky in him. But I don't know, man. I've seen him go after another dog, and he looked like a ridgeback, man. All the hair from the back of his neck to the base of his tail stands straight up about 3 inches. I mean, straight up. Looks like the boy's got some kind of spine thing going on there. But name's Pete. Smart as a whip. It's one of the smartest dogs I've ever run across. He is very smart. Too much for his own good. And it does help me out a little bit because his birthday and my birthday is the same. Yeah, so I know he's going to be a year old in a few days now. But and I'm hoping this is about all the growing he's going to do upward. I don't mind him filling out a little bit, but I got to tell you, that old boy can't hardly walk underneath the dining room table now. Yeah, yeah. Big dog, eats a lot. Don't put him on a diet. Not that I do much dieting. Anyway, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I've been up and running around up in Michigan and northern Indiana, and I got to tell you, some of the folks up here are a little strange, man. I really do. Got to tell you that some of the stuff that I've ran into up here, kind of rude folk to some degree. There's, I don't want to clump everybody in the state into that mold. Okay, really don't, because I've also met a lot of nice people too. I think the nice ones outweigh the crazies. Let's see, what else have I been up? Oh, I don't know if I can do this or not. Let's see here. See how that there, maybe not. Yeah, I wear my hair braided in the back. I haven't been to a barber in 2 years. Yeah, seriously. That's not bad. The braid keeps it all pulled back good. Crazy, huh? Yeah, I just got tired of paying barbers, man. And every time I'd go to a new barber, they would butcher my hair to where it bad. My hair's, I got some cowlicks back there, and don't cut it right. You got a mess on your hands. Oh, man, I forgot to tell you. I've started up another channel because I got to be honest with you. YouTube and Google has gotten so tough on these things. I mean, you say anything bad about, like Ukraine. You can't say nothing bad about Ukraine. No. They'll keep your money. They'll run ads, but they'll keep the money. And a lot of guys have gotten it, got their sites taken down and all kinds of stuff. But I have, in the experience of building this and looking for information, I did get to meet a fellow, and he's got a pretty cool channel. It's called Earl Gray is the YouTube channel name. His name is Mike Joe. And he's out of Britain, British citizen originally, and he's got, I think, another week before he gets his, becomes a bona fide Russian. But I've learned a lot from him. As a Westerner, he'll sit and talk with you about the differences between the two. And basically what him and I have come to the conclusion of, you break the laws here in the U.S. or in Great Britain or whatever, go to jail, man. Russia's about the same. He says political nonsense. He said most people, when they think of Russia, they think of the Soviet Union, which is a whole different ballgame. But he loves it there. Married a Russian girl. He's just happy as a little clam. And through him, I met a few other Westerners that had moved into Russia for one reason or the other. The kid is doing some great work for in the Donbass region and so forth. There's a group of YouTubers out of there that he's got what do they call that, a Bahanka or something like that, a little van. And they load that thing up and slap a trailer on the back. They actually had the Russian army loan them some, didn't loan them to them. They drove the trucks in. They were headed in with some of their supplies, and they allowed them to fill up the rest of these trucks. That was back during Christmas. It's kind of touching. These people are having nothing. They're living in their basements, and they're getting artillery dropped on them every day just about. And so they're really hurting, Simple things mean a lot to them, and the fact they take them out food and Christmas gifts. even took one lady. She had a deer that she put up for Christmas, I guess, out in her yard there at a small orphan. And amazing, that they were saying they used to have another one. Something happened to it. Don't know for sure what. Probably got shot. Who knows? But yeah, they tracked one of those down and took out to them. So just some young people, probably mid to late 20s, that just, are trying to help those folks out. It's kind of sad. It is really sad. As a matter of fact, on that topic, I was going through looking at some executive orders. Yeah, I don't have a life. I was going through looking at some executive orders and tracked some back. And they can't hardly deny what's been going on over there, because there's a lot of executive orders and so forth signed by Barack Obama back in 2014 that was setting all this thing up. Called Russia invading Crimea, and they didn't invade Crimea. They were asked to go there and protect. They were going to kick military people of Ukraine out of the area. They didn't want Ukraine's army with just cause, seriously. And they wanted to be protected while they were doing that. And they just went around, and it was all peaceful. I think there was, no real big deals. And then a lot of the guys that were actually stationed there wanted to stay there. And after that bridge got blown up, I'm wondering if they kind of thought maybe that wasn't such a hot idea. But a lot of the military people stayed. They went ahead and closed out their contracts with the Ukrainian army and Air Force and so forth, and just stayed out of Crimea because they'd been there most of their lives. So kind of touching stories. But anyway, it's the channel's called Earl Grey. Just a simple Earl Grey. And I'll try to look it up and put a link in the description. I don't want this to get real long, but the announcement I was wanting to make is this new channel. It's called Crossroads, and it is basically going to be more of a political channel, not looking to make a dime off the thing. Okay, I won't be disappointed if I don't make any money with it, because I'm expecting that. Okay. But I've been doing a lot of reading and so forth, and I got to tell you, folks, we're headed into some tough times. Looks like the days of the petro dollar is ended. You got really the whole world beginning to stack up on us. It's pretty much us in the West, Western Europe, and a few African countries, but I've actually heard some of those leaders say stuff like, well, the reason we vote to agree with their sanctions and their nonsense is we just soon not be get bombed. And you go looking at it, it's pretty bad. I was looking at tonight, as a matter of fact, I was looking over the list of sanctions that we've applied to countries, and it is long and lustrous. We just go out and take their money, and, and that's what the world is. A little bit sick of our monetary system, SWIFT accounts and the IMF and all this. Because when our politicians get upset with a country, first thing they do is go in there and try to hurt their populations by taking all their money that's being held in the SWIFT accounts and so forth to pay bills and to buy stuff that they import, things of this nature. They just take it away from them. Just steal it. Now, sometimes they freeze it, but then they turn around. Like right now, they're trying to steal about, I think they thought that they had a hold of about $300 billion of Russia's money, and it turned out the thing didn't have that much. Apparently, Russia had been sliding it out the back door at the last minute, which is good. And yeah, when you listen to and pay attention to, you start thinking, you're Putin's puppet, if you say anything. Best way to sum it up, I guess, when Vladimir Putin put troops in there, now he didn't want to go to war with Ukraine. He was just trying to flex his muscles and scare them a little bit to get them back to the negotiating tables. But then he learned that the two Minsk agreements that were supposed to resolve the issue with eastern Ukraine, it didn't seem like Ukraine paid it no mind. Turns out that places like Germany and France and the United States that were signers of these peace treaties finally admitted that we had no intention of following that. It was just to keep you busy, thinking that there was going to be peace, and we were building an army in Ukraine. Actually came out and said that, Angela Merkel. So they don't trust us much anymore. But the good news is it looks like we may get rid of this unipolar structure in the world where you have one country leading everybody around by the nose. It looks like those days are ending. The only bad part of it is it's going to hit us hard financially. The petrodollar is going down. A lot of the BRICS countries and the BRICS group as a whole are, well, to be honest with you, they're taking and putting together the same kind of international monetary exchange where countries can put their money in their bank and have it for international transfers and so forth. They've about got that wrapped up now, and at that point they're going to go head to head. China, Japan, even Russia, a lot of countries are beginning to cash in their bonds. It's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt us because they're holding a lot of our debt, and they're not planning on holding it any longer than they are required to. And as this stuff matures, they're handing it right back to us, and they're not in the market for any more of our junk bonds. Okay? Be advised, if you haven't got a garden in, you better get one, because things could get really skinny. You know what I'm saying? So try to prepare, and hopefully we have time for that. It doesn't look like it's just the bottom's going to drop out. It looks like we're just going down a pretty steep hill, and we'll eventually get to the bottom. But we're going to go down a pretty steep hill. And it all boils down to government spending. That's where a lot of the problem is. And the fact that we can't seem to keep our noses out of everybody else's business. This international norms that they're always talking about. I ran across that statement in some of these executive orders from Obama. And it is basically what America thinks and what the Europeans think is this international norm. Well, what if you're Chinese, or what if you're African? You know, those are Muslim and Arab, things of this thing. There's a lot of different people in the world, folks. But we've decided that we got some kind of right to take a belly club to the countries that don't agree with our international order. That's what I really want to do here. I want to get back to giving you all information on agricultural things and how to put yourself together a little homestead and feed yourself. That's what this channel is going to be. Okay? Now, move over to the Crossroads channel, and that is definitely going to be political nonsense and me venting. Okay? That way I can protect this channel. I want to keep it around for you folks to always be able to reference some stuff and laugh at me sometimes. And that's the way it'll be. So whenever I get, I'm going to run up a few on this channel this week and a few on the other channel, and I'm going to go ahead and interconnect them. I've got just truckloads of information on what's going on with America right now and what's happening in the world. I've actually become pretty good at this research. Anyway, this is Rick, Tennessee Homestead. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I hope you had having a good time out there. Keep smiling. Y'all take care. Love you. Appreciate you.